since you're a media mogul who's built such a successful company, and you're looking back at it from perspective of where you are now, what first steps would you take in terms of creating a media entity or a media company? Saying you had 0 followers or 0 funding, or really scrapping it out to create a content-driven business.
I think the best advice for a content-driven business is to scratch your own itch. Own itch. Like, make the media company, the blog, the Instagram account that you wish existed. Because you know it. You know it. You're one of it. Like, guys, do you know how big forums still are on the internet? Like 1994 technology, because little groups, little neighborhoods. That's why the young woman who's just talking, who's going to the bathroom, I hope, right now, it's like that's why it worked, because it was niche. It was niche. People, I'm telling you, man, people try to boil the ocean. Go narrow. Go narrow. Like, Barstool's winning because that team made what they wanted. They wanted irreverence. They wanted mixed culture a different way. Like, that's the only way to break through. Because you have to understand, it's an incredible time, but all of us can do it. So it's a supply and demand issue, right? It's an incredible time. It's an incredible time. But everybody can start one. So it's easy and hard, which means to me, go deep as fuck. Like, go very narrow to what you know, right? And go deep, deep, deep into that. I think that's the place to go. And then use the modern places where there's attention. You start a media company today, you should be voice and social first, not website and email first. Because it's underpriced attention. You can take that attention from Instagram or a podcast and then start a website. I bought PureWell, a women's lifestyle business, back a year ago, and I'm gonna launch a men's one, and it's all gonna be launched on the back of my audience. And I built that audience in social and voice, and I'm gonna penetrate it to a website and other things as well. And so I have it already. And so we all have that too. We have what we have. We have our lives, our passions, our interests. I want people to go narrow, real narrow. There's a real long tail business. Really, there is. I mean, really there is. So, cool. And I want to do this guy.
Well, thanks so much, Gary. Actually, I have to thank you for all the content, because I put it on the streets and it works.
Thank you.
My problem is I'm a doctor and actually,
golfer.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a plastic surgeon and pretty good as well.
Nice.
Actually, and I'm an angel investor, and I have one startup
Nice.
as a CEO.
Okay.
And the problem is about following your advice. We put everything on the streets. No, we documented everything. And we got a good problem, because we have our audience. We built audience for my patients, and
Yes.
we have audience now for all entrepreneurs guys that are
Yes.
going to make the same path.
Yes.
And now the problem is, when people Google my name, they can find both. And maybe some patients like say, hey, I don't want to make the nose job with this guy because they don't have full time on just it.
Yes.
And the other side.
You're looking at it wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
What do you mean?
well, because you're looking at the downside, not the upside.
Yeah, it's why I'm asking you, because it's a little bit new for me. No?
Yeah, I get it.
All this audience and all people making, sending emails and direct on Instagram. I want to build a business on your field, and actually I want to make a boobs.
It's super interesting to have you here, because I think one of the things I'm trying to figure out is the people that are taking my advice are winning.
Yeah,
Like,
for
it
sure.
works.
People, I can say it works. For sure, it works. Yeah, you can buy these books. Yeah, it works.
What happens is they get into the crossroads that happens to you, which is you're trying to do it to build your chiropractor company, your yogurt shop, your surfing knowledge, and then what's happening is you're getting inundated now with people who want you to teach them how to do that for theirs.
For sure.
Look, I think that's, to your point, you said it very quickly, it's a good problem. I would definitely tell you not to worry about it, right? Like I have so much, if you look at my Instagram content, right?
Every day.
Thank you. If you wait, but thank you. But let me
what
finish
can I
my
say?
thought. If you look at my latest post on Instagram is me hanging out with Gunna, the up and coming rapper from Atlanta. That is not necessarily what Chase Bank and ABI and SAP, my clients, want to see from me. But the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
I run the best agency, and so they're going to hire you. If you're great at your craft, there's nobody who's not going to come to you because you're teaching other people how to build a business. It will all be net positive. Don't allow yourself to look at the negatives or perceived negatives or issues. For every person you lose that says he's not spending all his time on that, you're gonna get 3 others because you are spending all your time on that.
Shit for them. Give a shit for them, sis.
Life's a net game.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Too many people are dwelling on what they're losing without understanding that those same tactics make them win. When I started speaking in 2009, I cursed a lot. And I didn't wear suits. And, there's a lot of youngsters in here, this may seem foreign, but that was not super fucking acceptable just 8 years ago. And I would get emails, then I got a speaking agent, and I would get so many emails. Literally CAA, my agency, would call me once a month and say, if you stop cursing, we can get you 4 more speaking gigs a month easy. And I would reply consistently for 3 years, motherfucker, if I stop cursing, nobody's gonna listen to me speak because I'm not gonna be me, right? And guess what? I won because the world changed. When you're yourself and you're true, that's why, Jason, I really loved what you were talking about. Could you imagine how much the world has evolved? Let me leave you with this as you're thinking about stuff. If you told a parent 12 years ago that when they have a 15-year-old daughter, they would rather that 15-year-old daughter go into a strange man's car 4 times a day instead of driving their own car, they would have laughed you out of the room. But if you live in a rich neighborhood and your daughter turns 16, the big new gift is not a new Benzo, the big new gift is unlimited Uber. It's right? It's true. Could you imagine if I had a video 15 years ago and say, one day in 15 years, all of you are gonna send your 15-year-old daughters into 43-year-old weird Benz cars 24 hours a day? They would have laughed me out of the room. Norms change. To be very honest, this, especially when I talk to my friends and minorities, and urban culture is America's culture now. Like when Maribel and I talk about, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. Go show me anything that's popular. I'll show you where it started. Atlanta. It's so basic. It's so basic. Literally, if you told me my mission as a brander over the next 7 years was to get 15-year-old white women to buy something, I would start with rappers in Atlanta because that's how it ends up there. And so you can run away from things, you can look at things. I just think that no matter where you are or what you are, look at hip hop. I'm 42. I grew up with hip hop where guys faked how hard they work because their aunt lived in Oakland and they visited her once a year and they said they were from Oakland, but they weren't fucking Too Short. You know what I mean? They were fucking bullshit. But in 1992, 93, 94, people remember you had to pretend you were hard because there was only one move. Lil Yachty would have got his face beaten in 1992. Yeah, right? But if you stayed true, it would have come to you because now everything is acceptable. And so everybody's deviating into something. I say put your fucking flag on the ground of who the fuck you are. I have a funny feeling it's gonna come to you, especially with the way the world's working now, because what all this Harvey Weinstein and Matt Lauer stuff is, it's all very simple. It's over. The internet, there is no hiding. Everything will be exposed. Do you know how great the world's gonna be in 50 years? Let me make you optimistic. We're taking one step backwards. You know why? We're facing shit we need to face. We've been faking the truth. And so we're taking one big step back and we're dealing with it. It's gonna be a painful fucking decade. It hasn't even started. We're gonna be dealing with a lot of shit. But let me tell you what our grandkids are gonna be living through. They're gonna be living through a world because of the full exposure of who we are, where everybody realizes everybody's got fucked up shit. There's not a person in here, not one person in here that doesn't do something that we consider right now a real flaw. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. We as a collective have to go through the pain of that, but when we get on the other side, when we're all old and we're looking at this, remember this talk. That's pretty egotistical, but try to build on this yourself and forget where it started. Let me go that route. We're gonna be happy because it's gonna be different. It's gonna be real different because everybody's gonna start accepting people's shortcomings and we're gonna have very different conversations and things like marriage and things like money and sex and race, we're gonna have some real conversations over the next 20, 30 years. Get ready. because this isn't gonna stop. And we are just not the animals that we wish we were. And we just have to face that, own it, go through that painful process, but we will be much better people in 50 years from today because of this time, during this era, because the internet is exposing us, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm happy, because the truth should win, but you've got to go through some shit to get to the other side, and that's what we're gonna do. That's cool on a holistic level that I'm sure a lot of people looking around here are very passionate about. On your own personal level, do that with yourself as a person and as an entrepreneur, and shit will go in a totally different place, I promise you. Own your shortcomings, own your strengths, surround yourself with the other shit, and stuff starts to pop. Thank you for having me.